we allow ourselves to open to these deeper gifts that we have, it is a deep awakener. It helps you to realize more of who you really are.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman.
Welcome, everybody, to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I'm so grateful to be with you today. I am absolutely so grateful that you have found this episode. We're going to get into it in just a moment. What I would love to ask you to do is to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. We would love to have you subscribe to this channel. I have amazing guests that come on this show that have so much wisdom, so much love, so much awesomeness to share, high vibration and wonderful things you can use in your life. I would love for you to follow. And I have a few nuggets to share too on these solo episodes for sure. And I got a really juicy one today as it relates to your spiritual gifts. So I started helping people with their spiritual gifts back probably late-ish 2000s. And especially then, I had started to do energy scanning, channeling, energy healing, all that stuff I was doing. I had actually started to put my toe in the water with that stuff in the late 90s in my own way through affirmative prayer processes, but I always could feel the deeper spiritual connection in it. So it was sort of like an energy healing modality already for me because of the empathic, sensitive nature that I have already was kind of just kicking in and taking things a bit deeper than maybe the average practitioner doing an affirmative prayer. So also I had, studied hypnosis and hypnotherapy and been offering that to people and found myself just having experiences of incredible depth of connection with people's energy and their subconscious mind as well, where I could actually peer into their subconscious mind telepathically and sense what they were seeing within their subconscious mind without me painting the picture as hypnotists do that sometimes. So even to the level of being able to merge within the scenes that the client was in and participating in them. Now, these weren't very common occurrences because I didn't have many clients that were, into that sort of thing. I had a regular practice. It wasn't necessarily a spiritual private practice that I had. I was doing counseling, hypnosis, hypnotherapy, all that good stuff. And mostly, I had just people coming in would have anxiety and stress and depression, the usual things therapists get. And if I felt the opening was there with certain clients, I would get more into the spiritual aspect, and it was pretty interesting. So, but yeah, very interesting things just kept happening repetitively back in those late 2000s, I want to say, especially. And yeah, all kinds of trippy things. And that's all part of like allowing ourselves to even open to such things because we allow ourselves to open to these deeper gifts that we have. It is a deep awakener. It helps you to realize more of who you really are. You get that realization. And yes, it does allow doors to open where more is possible in terms of what's possible in healing and just sacred connection and results, for your life, your business, whatever it may be, your relationships, everything. So everything can be more optimized when you open to more of your spiritual gifts. As long as you are doing it, ultimately, you want to get integrated with your gifts, you want to be grounded with your gifts. But for most people, the first thing is you just are not opening to them. And there could be various reasons. And one of the things I do, if you don't know me that well, I do all these energy scans, this tuning in stuff, and there's different reasons why people might be shy about their spiritual gifts. One of the biggest ones, of course, is the past life persecution stuff. So pretty much what I have to just introduced to people's even conscious mind, which helps they actually get into the subconscious to some degree when I just say something, which is the witch hunts are over, guys, and that starts to create a little momentum towards opening more. Because the idea is that if I open to my gifts, oh my God, I might be burned at the stake again. I might be executed and all those things. Subconsciously, that's what's happening. And for some people, they're so empathic, they're so sensitive. If they were to open more and to allow more to come in into their awareness, it may overwhelm them. And so sometimes it can be for certain souls, not a lot, but some souls, yes, absolutely. You may be better off not opening more until you ground more, until you get a proper grounding of your energy field as you open more. So it can really vary based on the individual. It's why I love doing energy scans for people to tune into your field and see what's going on with your gifts and your energy and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but the thing I see again and again for people, because I train people in energy scanning. What is energy scanning, by the way, is where I utilize my intuitive psychic gifts to tune into your overall energy, into your field, and I go through your chakras and see all that stuff that's going on for you, and then we can come up with a healing protocol or a plan or whatever to help you to deepen your awakening, deepen your results, all of that stuff, to rock your sacred purpose and be the spiritual rock star. So that's my passion. And definitely my passion is one of my top passions, if not the top passion, is for people to learn how to open to these gifts, to open up to the divine in the first place. And of course, I am a practical person, probably some of that Arcturian energy or whatever I have, but I would like to practically show you how a scan could lead to a healing, which of course, if you're going to do the healing, you may as well get paid for it. So then, like, how to bridge all of it, right? To allow yourself to use your gifts and get paid. First thing is to just keep opening these gifts. Many people see me do an energy scan on a virtual stage or even in person stage, and they'll think to themselves, "Oh my God, he's so gifted, he's so amazing, but I could never do that." Or I don't believe I could do that, or not, I couldn't do it as good as you do, or as fast as you do, or as deep as you do, or whatever they may think, right? And I'm sure there's a few people that think like, yeah, I can do that, or maybe, but most people are pretty impressed and um, doubt their ability. The biggest response is, I'd love to know how to do that, but maybe I could, I'm not sure. But the second most common response is, boy, he can do it, but I don't really believe I can do what he's doing. And that's where you're, suppressing those gifts. You're shoving them away. Some part of you already knows you can do it all. And so that's what I'm here, just by talking about this subject on this podcast today. I'm helping you to realize you can. You can trust opening a little bit more. You can allow yourself to trust. I use this rock right here in my trainings, and I use this to this day at times. This rock with the trust word on it. For those that are not, watching me on YouTube, which is most of you. But yeah, I use this stone as a representation. I use that stone for over 1,000 energy scans of putting it in my hand while I was tuning into people, in the process of tuning into people, to ground me, to help me to be able to focus, to help me to be able to go deeper. Because I allowed my energy field to get for me, very open. I mean, there's always a higher level I could open to, but where magical healings could happen. Like I've said many times, I cut my finger. I just have fun like magic. I turn my hand this way, that way, one direction to the other direction. And when I turned it back, my intention was it was an intentional thing, but also I don't know how to explain it. I entered the field with intention, and I knew it would be healed, and then it would disappear. So instantly. So I started to realize everything was fluid. Everything's fluid. Everything's now based on your belief system. I mean, some things may not be as readily doable. Like, well, I mean, I have the ability to really do anything, so let's fly right now. I'm gonna fly right off, right now. And you say everything's possible, Dan, let's see you fly right now. Everything's fluid. I probably wouldn't be able to do that right away. And the reason is because of the belief systems. I'm in a collective belief system that says that isn't for me. There's science that shows I wouldn't be able to do it, right? Or whatever, all the ideas, whatever personal beliefs I have that might keep me from the all power that I am and intelligence that I am to let those type of things to happen. So I'd have to just release those and enter into deep into the field until my consciousness allowed it to happen. I also would need to be sincere, very sincere about the desire to have this experience, and then it would happen. And so, honestly, even in some of the things I'm telling you, actually, people have paid money to, sit with me and work with me and to walk with me in nature, etc., and to learn what's possible, what's available to them. And they've discovered incredible things. Boy, I can um, summon the wind out of nowhere, right? I can make it rain, then not make it rain. I can intend that when I roll these dice, it'll come up whatever numbers I decide it's going to come up to, and so people have they've invested time and often usually money also to spend time with me to learn these things. They've been able to do it. They've been able to do similar types of things. So so it's not just like one or two people. It's definitely been a number of people, and I've had whole groups, walk with me and to open to such things. So we have these abilities to get beyond the veil. And so I don't even think that's in question for most of you that the abilities exist. But you may question if you have the ability.
If you want to meditate and make money, let it be simple, let it be easy, let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today.
And I'm just here to remind you, you do. Yeah. If your brain is intact at all, or relatively intact, you don't have maybe a neurological disorder or something like that that might make it more challenging, potentially, you can do it. You can do it. You can experience all kinds of magical things. But you just, whatever it is that you could imagine you could do, you probably can do it. But it'd have to interest you. What's the point? I could fly in the air and then what? Now what are you doing? Just because I can, why, doesn't necessarily mean that I should bother to, master that ability. I mean, it may not matter, right? So when people are like, probably many people have tried this because I started trying this since I was very young. I try to, influence everything energetically here and there, not all the time. And I wasn't very good at it, honestly, as a kid. Not that I was aware of. I was intuitive for sure. I definitely had that going early, but I did not have the other things going to influence energy. I learned that later as an adult, more so. So, and I guess some of it came from my spiritual studies, but a lot of it, all beyond that, was really just I let was just I just awakened to it on my own. I got interested in it and self-studied it myself in my own consciousness, my own awareness. It just naturally came to me how you could let such things happen. So why am I going on and on about this? Why does it matter? Again, I'll tell you why it matters. It's because it's probably one of the few things that, one of the few things that will really stand out that for a period of time, probably a pretty long time, for a number of years maybe, I don't know, for a certain amount of time, that will definitely distinguish you from all the technology, the type of technology they're putting together. I believe with the technology that we're capable of putting together, that it could possibly do anything. You know, I'm not one that believes that it could not do intuition. Probably people argue that it can already do that. Psychic prediction probably already could do that at certain levels. AI, whatever you want to call it all, that it could do healing, that it could do miracles and stuff. Like, sure, why not? I mean, everything emanates from the infinite intelligence and the light. So, um, but our particular abilities to do that in the way that we do it, that may never be replicated. It may never be the same. It'll never, you're either human or you're not, right? So, and I do believe that for the time being, as such technologies emerge at higher and higher levels of spiritual giftedness, that I do believe are possible, that we very well may see in our lifetime, that you're only the only thing that that's going to allow you to stay at peace and to experience still prospering in more than ever before is to allow yourself to open to these gifts. Even just the gift of being more deeply present, just even that. I mean, that is massive. It's like kind of the whole thing almost right there. I mean, in a sense. So this to be fully present, you know. So we have got to master these technologies and abilities, I believe, in part at least, um, because there could be potentially, okay, I won't say it's going to happen because I don't know. I don't know for 100%. There's certain things I know for 100% almost, but I want to say I do know for 100%. There's some things that are not clear to me. I know between now I was told this many years ago now, there's before 2020, I know that we have an opportunity right now to make a big difference, us light leaders, us spiritual folk. And we have a window, between now and 2030. Well, what I was told from wherever it came from the divine, many are going to suffer, many will perish in the years ahead. But the one thing that, we can do is to be more deeply awakened and to use also my sense of it was, I don't know if I heard this exactly, but my sense of it was, is to use these spiritual technologies that we have to mitigate, the damages that may be happening to humanity going forward. So that's why, beyond like the usual incredible reasons why I give to open your gifts, it's like really a big deal right now because there are mechanisms like chips into your skin or your head or whatever, all the things they talk about that could enhance your capacities even absolutely in that regard, but it also might control you. It may control you for sure, right? Probably will have levels of control on you. That's why I believe, you have things like, potentially at least, why you have things in uh, the Bible that say don't take the mark of the beast and all that sort of thing. Like I really believe, like very likely that's what we're talking about. Like now it will be hailed, just so you know, it will be hailed as like this is what's going to bring unity, right? They call it the great singularity for a reason. It's so that you believe like we can integrate the biology, the physical world, and humans and whatever. We can bring everything together into a singularity, right? We're already in singularity, in spiritual connection. We already are in singularity. So the idea you would need to do these mechanisms to experience singularity is just untrue. The capacities that we could add to ourselves through physical technologies really could be developed, I believe, largely, maybe not completely, I don't know, but largely through our own development of our consciousness. So, well, if you do this chip, you'll be smarter than you ever were. But if you were to develop your consciousness in a certain way, you would be more intelligent than you ever were before, even by huge factors, because we have not allowed ourselves to experience. There's already people that have demonstrated these abilities, that can play instruments out of the blue, like they've never touched the instrument before, and they play it like masterfully right away because they're utilizing the principles of using these spiritual technologies to be able to do such things right away, to be able to read books and have high comprehension like in an instant, right? We've heard about it. We've seen people. Maybe you're one of these people, So all these things are possible. It's a matter of what you're guided to and what you're interested in to work with. Of course, you have all the other things that I'm not talking about, connecting with your angels and ETs and whatever, all kinds of gifts that we have. And but we have to stop hiding from them. We have to stop restricting ourselves. We have to act as if they've always been there. Now we just like, oh, okay, it was fun to pretend I didn't have those abilities. Now I'm going to be who I actually am. I'm going to play the I'm awake game now. Like we're all playing different games. That's all it is. Again, I'm telling you things like these little tiny things you think like that. Well, quite well, we've heard all this before, basically, and it's like, but if you hear it correctly today, if you are looking to open more, you hear correctly today what I'm saying. For the first time, you hear it correctly, it can completely change everything for you. And you can maybe help a lot of people through your gifts. What if you are able to rapidly, manifest anything at any time? Maybe you could manifest something good for not only yourself, but for those around you, your family, your communities, your people you love, things you care about. I know there's been times when there's things going on in the world when I've used my abilities to put an end to them, to transmute them. That has its own set of issues if you pursue it in the wrong way, but we won't get into that today. But imagine that if you could, utilize those abilities to help more, to not, we're not going to stop everything. We're not going to put an end to all things and we're going to live in peace and harmony forever here in this plane. It's not what this plane's about. This plane of existence is about having many experiences and coming back to a place of awakening, a place of being infinite in this incarnation, in this timeline, to recognizing the beauty of the sacred within. I mean, it would seem like, awakening to the sacredness and the love and the amazing being that you are is that what this is all about, being here? Yeah, basically. And you wanted to have all the other kind of experiences. So it's just like when people say it's a simulation, it's like there's a sort of a truth to that, right? You're simulating all these different experiences. And then you get to come back to the truth of who you are more and more, right? You might grab a hold of some of it in one lifetime, right? I'll see it when I scam people. And they descend into darkness and all these different type of lifetimes. Maybe they're persecuted in other ones and enslaved in other ones. Maybe just regular, more run-of-the-mill lifetimes and nothing dramatic. Like all different types of lives where we're learning things. So the reason why sometimes you have certain your gifts already active and ready to go is because you've used them in past lives and you have that natural connection. Sometimes it's been clogged up though, and when you get in the presence of a healer or an activator or whatever, maybe they can help you to remember, and all of a sudden you're able to do those abilities again if it serves your path, if it's were a good idea for you, or a good thing for you. So So yeah, so it's pretty broad. I went pretty broad with this podcast episode. I do want to open you to so many more possibilities. I mean, right now we are in this matrix that we're in now. We do have a money system, right? So it's like, okay, we have to gear some of this towards, money and all that sort of stuff. Because we do money exchanges for things that we desire, things that seemingly we need. Seemingly, I'll put it that way. So, yeah, your complete freedom is really realizing you don't need any of it. And you just get to choose how you want to play the game. And so, if you want to utilize these gifts to help others, especially the intuitive and psychic healing gifts to get started at least, um, or if you want to take them to another level, then it's time to do that. It's time to do that. You know, there's more, there's potentially, okay, it's just potentially more controls coming to those that are susceptible to being controlled. They may try to put a whole net around everybody, right? That you hear about all the time. They're gonna surveil you, they'll shut you down, you can't do anything kind of idea. Well, I'll tell you what, there will be some of us that will be beyond those systems, in my opinion, okay? I always tell people I might be wrong, but when I get these feelings and knowings, I'm usually 100% right, but you never know. I could be incorrect about that, but I think those that are truly awakened will not be subject to the systems, not in the same way. No. They'll be able to transcend the systems and they'll be able to liberate. And there is nothing, that can be done when you, as an infinite being, decides something new is going to happen. It's going to go a different way now. And imagine if we band together what's possible for our world. All the things we've talked about, we've wanted for so long, more of that is possible. Or that's possible. And now we just have the urgency because there's a sense of like that they're going to shut us down completely now or whatever. And there's just that sense. And whether it's real or not, it's a divine imperative that you're sensing. And yes, it looks like fear, but it's a divine imperative. Fear is a divine imperative to wake up to who you truly are. So start experimenting, as they say, intuit what's next for you in every moment. How do I do that? Well, if you don't get a feeling to do anything right now, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just sit there until you get a feeling to do something. And then do it. Oh, maybe I'll move my hand. Oh, maybe I'll go get something to eat. Maybe, but on your way, as you stay connected to go get something to eat, you might feel like you should go do something else now, right? And it's not from your mind. You're getting into your body, you're getting into your presence, and you're just allowing the sense of your higher self somewhere up above you, guiding you. It just says, "Oh, yeah, why don't we do this now? Why don't you do that now?" You feel it's not like just a thought. It's a feeling of a connection, and you're just following where the connection is taking you. And yes, you can become like a wizard. I mean, what's possible? You could open up a wall in your house and walk right through it. I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying like you're going to do that. I'm saying it's possible. All things become possible. And I tend to go on and on with all my little experiences I've had, all the things I could tell you that I've experienced, but there's other people that have way bigger stories, I guess. One of them I like to talk about is going to Universal Studios, and I just got fed up. They had like the scanners, I know, like supposedly to keep us safe, right? Everything's to keep us safe. So for the thumb print or whatever, they had a scanner. They took the print the first day we were there, and so I did it all the first day. Second day, I was just clear on my intention. I was just, they're not doing it today. They're not doing it today. I don't like this. And again, this is just one of many stories, but they went to put my thumb on the scanner, and no matter what they did, they could not get the scanner to work. And it had been working just fine. And when I left the line, it worked just fine. But they weren't able to scan my thumbprint. Let that sink in. I'm not special. I don't believe I'm particularly unique and special in these capacities. Like I said, I've taught other people to do this, to do these type of things. Like the whole Jesus thing, right? These things are greater you shall do, that type of thing. It's totally true. It's totally true. That's why I've taught courses with Jesus. I've spent that time with Jesus, communing with Jesus, and that energy to transmit it and to share it with others. We have so many gifts, we have so many abilities. If we decide we're going to opt out of the system, it'll be all right. They just gave up. They're like, it's not working. We can't get it to work. Oh my God. And they have people, the lines jamming up. They're just like, all right, you're fine. Whatever, just go. And that's what I wanted to see happen. I didn't want to be part of that. So, and this is what I'm telling you guys, it's time to realize it's time to wake up, you know. It's time to wake up. Hardcore wake up now. And are we going to still do all the usual things that we do in our lives? Well, let's see what the presence tells you, right? Just follow it, follow through on what you're feeling and sensing. For me on my path, like when it comes to, you know, important but also somewhat mundane things, which I talk a lot about because it's fun. It is a fun thing, but it's, like money, right? Like I talk a lot about money. I talk a lot about it. I'm a business coach and everything. Um, but money is, will money be the currency of the future? We don't know. My sense has always been no, of course not. Everything will end eventually. And then we'll have a new way where we commune and exchange with each other. But in the meantime, we may as well embrace it because, sometimes we spiritually check out, even though, we're wizards who have no money, right? Because we are not letting that part come in magically. So make sure, you bring the money along for right now, bring love and light and laughter into everything, bring peace to everything. And know that every dollar you receive, every dollar you're circulating is contributing to something greater. With that intentionality, now you can live your life. And if there's another medium of exchange that's seemingly wanting to come online that's better, occurs to you or comes to you, certainly we can roll with those things too, right? But for now, that's what we're doing. And there is so much more. There's so much to rise above, to go to a higher frequency living. So I'm looking forward to it, and I appreciate, the things that have developed over these years, the deeper density that has come in, which again was revealed to me back in the 2000s, that the world would get darker, but there also would be more light, which I believe is happening. I mean, it's hard to see that sometimes if you only listen to the density, all the density with all the story on social media. But there's also more light. There's more people waking up, and the light, will engulf this planet more and more in its fullness, in terms of its experience flowing through us. But it starts with you opening to your gifts, opening to your spiritual connection. Just even by listening to this podcast, I'm knowing, I can sense and know like what pours through me and how it opens you. So yeah. Okay. I'm really grateful to have shared with you today, and trust me, I've given you what you need. I've given you what you need for now. That which will awaken you just that much more. And it could be completely a game changer, a life changer to you today, potentially, if you just really heard me and what I had to share in a way like you haven't ever heard this message before. And so that's my intention. And if you would like to continue this journey with me here by just continue to listen to the podcast, that's great. Like I said, subscribe. If you like this video or this audio, whatever may be the case, go ahead and comment, like, all the good stuff. We believe there's someone that could use this, someone you care about that you think could really receive this and it would help them, it would support them, then please do share then, just share it, please, if you feel it'd be benefit to others, And if you want to learn more about how to open your gifts in a way that also is grounded as you're tuning into other people's fields, especially, and can help you to build a healing business, then I want you to go ahead and you can check out my upcoming energy scan training. We'll put a link in the show notes for you. There's one coming up December 4th and 5th. Again, even most 40%, not most, but 40%, I would say, that's my estimate. People come in, are convinced they won't be able to do the tuning it, the intuitive psychic gift thing and tune into people. And then they can. The very first day they realize they can. So I'll teach you how to do the scanning and how to tune in, how to go through the chakras. And you'll meet new friends and you want to talk to them for the rest of your life, some of them, because it always happens. And if you're feeling alone with this journey, you hopefully will bring that to an end and find some more community, to connect with on this journey. So you could have that to check out. And you can also check out, if you put in energy scan secrets into Daniel John Hanneman into your Google bar, you'll definitely find more information about energy scanning. We'll probably put a link in for my next call on energy scan secrets too, which I actually give you some more of the insights that you need to open to your gifts on those particular Zoom calls. Okay. And I also do energy scans. You get to see it happening in real time directly for me. I'm tuning into you and what I see in you. So check all that out. I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful to have shared with you today. And I'm just knowing there's a huge opening happening right now for you and for all those that are ready for that right now. And so lots of blessings and love. And like I always say at the end of every podcast, keep on tuning in and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.